Hi, I'm Johnny, and I am coming to you from Bushwick, Brooklyn. For the past 23 years, I've been working with Soho art materials and Trimar stretchers. One of my jobs has been stretching canvases and paintings. So in this video, I'm here to show you the simplest and easiest way for you to stretch your canvases without having any issues or problems once they're done. Now, the first thing you do when you're looking to stretch a canvas is that you have to figure out which material you're going to use. And basically, material-wise, there are three types of material that you can choose from. We have linen, cotton, and polycotton. Now, being in this business for so long, we've learned that the most stable of the materials are the prime polycotton and the prime linen. The least stable is cotton and cotton gesso. Reason being, cotton absorbs moisture like a sponge, and humidity and moisture is the worst for your canvas. Realize this, that using cotton as your material to paint on, it's no different than your t-shirt. As it gets wet, it shrinks, and this could cause problems with warping and or inflection. So that's why we do recommend the two other materials, prime linen and prime polycotton. But if you stretch your cotton gesso properly, you will not have to worry about that. And I'm here to show you how to do that because cotton gesso is very economical and a lot of people use it. So let's get started. Once you get your stretcher out there on your material, number one thing is you want to make sure it's square.
Tape measure.
So what we're going to do is we're going to measure from corner to corner and make sure that it's the same distance.
Points to frame corner.
Okay, now what's happening is this side is like an eighth bigger. So what I do is I just go in and tap it, and now it is perfectly square. So now we've cut the material. We have at least 2.5 inches around the bar, and now we're going to start the stretching process.
Uses staple gun.
1.
Goes to the opposite side of the frame and overlaps the canvas edge on the frame.
Number 2. Opposite side.
Staples canvas to short side edge of frame.
3.
Staples the opposite short side edge to the frame.
And 4. Now you'll also notice I'm not going to be stretching with pliers today. I'm going to show you how to use the engineering and the mechanics of the stretcher to use the keying system to make it tight for painting. And in this manner, you'll avoid any problems in the future if it gets too tight. Now, on this particular canvas, it's 48 by 60. This is going to be a portrait painting, which means that it's going to be a vertical painting. In doing that, we want the folds to end up on the short side. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to stretch the long side first. So what we're going to do is we're simply going to pull on there. We're going to come over here. We're going to take this. We're just going to pull that like that.
Staples the corners.
And the point of this is we're simply pulling on this to avoid ripples down this area here. We're not pulling it to make it super tight. We're not pulling it to make it great. We're just pulling it to avoid any ripples on the side. Now, like I said, I'm not using pliers on this. Normally I would, but I want to show you how simple it is easy. And if you don't have pliers, you don't have to worry about carpal tunnel. So all I'm doing is, look how fast I'm just pulling it with my hands because I want this area here to be tight.
Turns the frame around and affixes 10 staples from the middle to the corner.
Really quick. Like I said, I'm not trying to make it tight. Using my fingers to make it tight, I'll only hurt my fingers.
Removes an errant staple. Uses a metal one to excise the plastic brackets.
Now you'll notice I'm pulling these things out of the corners. When you assemble your stretcher, we put these in the corners so it stays square. Okay, now we got 2 sides done. Now we're going to finish up. Now when we finish up, we're going to do what we call hospital corners on these corners here.
Installs staples from the middle of the frame to the corner.
We're just going to come right through. Now for a hospital corner, we want the fold to be over here. What we do is we place our thumb where we want the fold to be. And then we just fold right over. And this is what we call a hospital corner.
Johnny holds down the flap with his thumb while installing 4 staples through the canvas and into the frame.
Now that little peg I was talking about, this is when you take it out when you have the corner all done. Now we're going to do this side.
Staples from the middle to the opposite corner of the frame. Grabs the metal wand.
Pulling this tab out. Thumb goes in to where I want the fold to be. 45 right there. Folding over.
Folds the canvas tightly over the corner of the frame to eliminate the potential for ripples. Then staples the opposite side from middle to corner.
Again, we're going to repeat. Pulling this out.
Removes bracket and folds canvas on the corner of the frame.
I'm not going to use that, just to show you. You don't have to.
Repeats the procedure on each side, stapling from middle to corner of frame.
Once again, corner, pull out the tab. Take these tabs, you keep these for your next canvas.
Folds the canvas edge over the frame corner.
Okay, it's stretched. Now is it tight? That's the question.
Johnny picks up the frame and sets it right side up on the table.
It's not super tight, but that doesn't matter. If this were a painting, you can put it on the wall right now, it would look beautiful. So now we're going to paint on it. It has to be tight. Let me show you how we do it. We use our keying system here to make it tight. Now these wedges are called keys. And what we do is we will simply, I'm going to show you guys, I'm just going to tilt this up like this.
Frame side facing.
Now, we have these corners, these plates on here, but there are grooves in the plates that we can put keys. There's a small one, and there'll be a wide hole. So what we do is we take the key, we put it in the wider hole. We're going to do the same thing on all the sides. And what this does, this expands the canvas, and this gets it ready for us to paint on. This way we avoid touching the crossbars, because using this method I can make this canvas as tight as a drum, and then it makes painting a lot easier.
Johnny uses a mallet to pound 2 wedges into the corner slot. He lifts the canvas by its frame and stands it upright on the table.
And tight as a drum.
He taps on the canvas to ascertain tightness.